I recently worked with a rideshare SaaS platform and we did an AI audit with them. And in this video, I'm going to show you what we did with them, so the audit, and also a brief summary of what we are going to implement for them. So the audit works as follows. It is a consulting process, and how I operate this is through a three-phase AI audit, where phase one is the process audit, phase two is opportunity matrix, and phase three is the development ROI. So this is the what, right? So in phase one, this is basically 80/20. Here's where either me or someone from my team spends most of their time, where we look at all the workflows, the processes, the systems, where most of the time is spent, all the bottlenecks, etc., etc. We look at internal versus external type workflows. Internal meaning accounting, administration, fulfillment, etc., etc. And external meaning sales and marketing. So usually we do around 4 to 8 interviews with this company. We actually did 14 interviews just because their team was so big. And then we look at all the use cases. So we would look at the software stack, if it is feasible, dream versus dread, which I'll go into a sec, if it is legal and what's legal. And then the ultimate question we always try to ask ourselves is like, what is even possible? So in phase two, we map everything out. We rank everything based on difficulty and impact. So difficulty we know based on experience, and impact we can calculate, or we just see that it is a big bottleneck. And based on that, it will end up in either of these four sections. And we always implement the high impact use cases. After we've identified those high impact use cases, we would look at the ROI. Most of the time, we can calculate the ROI to some extent, but sometimes it is not easy because let's say we need to implement something that is related to their brand or related to data capture, tracking, etc. Like you cannot have a tangible ROI. But let's say we can do that. We look at, for example, hours saved, the AI cost, the AI development cost, and the ROI. And based on that, based on the ROI, we charge around 10 to 30% of that. So that is what an AI audit is. So in short, we are just identifying the use cases and what AI software stack to implement to solve that bottleneck to generate ROI. So save money, make money, handle data better, being able to scale without headcount. Really important. And so you might be asking yourself, okay, what did you do with the rideshare SaaS platform? So we identified 6 opportunities where they either lost a lot of money, or it was a bottleneck, or it was just something that really needed to be fixed in order to be able to scale without needing to hire 10 extra people to do the job, right? So this company was growing incredibly fast and their systems just couldn't keep up. And they were looking at, okay, how can we leverage AI to be able to scale without adding headcount? That was their main concern. And these 6 opportunities, this is just a small summary I made for you guys, cover exactly that. So here we have opportunity one, the operation for the operations. It is a no-show risk calculator. So they were experiencing issues with their drivers just not showing up, just because the pickup place was not clear. And what we did is we took all of the variables, so time of day, pickup type, weather, past late arrivals, long ETAs, the rider history, pin location, cancellation patterns, all of these inputs we took, and we are live monitoring everything to then, let's say they get a ride, we would analyze it and we would mark it as high or low risk for a no show or cancellation. So sometimes they accept it, they say they are on their way, so it takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get to the location. But let's say all of these variables mark it as high risk, then we would give them an extra confirmation step, so to the drivers, and they are required to tap to confirm again closer to arrival. So there are 2 extra verification steps. And let's say this driver doesn't have past late arrivals, he has a really good history, then they are likely to be marked as low risk. So here we have opportunity two. This is for hiring. They were spending around 20,000 euros a month just to hire people. They were paying a Dutch agency to help them get people. And right now, this is the first thing, by the way, that we implemented, and it is working great. Basically, what this is a automated hiring system. So how does it work? So we use Workable to post the jobs, which does automatic inbound marketing for us. Then we send them to N10, which I'll get into a sec. And we also hired a independent contractor to scrape leads for us. So we had a uh, ideal profile of someone that we wanted to hire, and so we hired a contractor to help us find those people and then put them in our automation workflows, where the messaging is also customized to the person. So we would send them an email and also a LinkedIn message. So this both does email and LinkedIn. So let's say they are interested, then we would send them a form to fill out and also submit some things. We would analyze it and basically either disqualify them or qualify them. Let's say they are qualified, then we would have an AI do an interview with them, and based on that interview, we would invite them to speak with the HR department. So this basically runs in the background, and whenever we find someone that is actually qualified, we would send them their way. So here we have opportunity three, and again, we can see operations. For this business, they were dealing with a lot of operational bottlenecks. So this is one of them, and this is for the pickup pin intelligence. So what do we do? So before the user books a ride or wants to reserve a ride, we would look at the database of all the pickup zones that we have. We would analyze their location, and we would say, okay, is it, or we would look at, is this a bad pickup zone or a good pickup zone? Let's say this is a bad pickup zone. We would auto suggest better pickup points. And this is also based on the database that we already have. And also, this database gets filled up more and more the more drivers submitted. And then we would look at, did they actually move to a designated area? If it's no, we would notify the driver to call them and prompt them to move locations, just so that it is easier for the driver to pick them up and again have less no shows, less delays. And let's say yes, then we would notify the driver with one clear instruction of where he can find the client. And we would also have a photo to show to the driver so he knows exactly where the person is. So opportunity four is for the team. So we wanted to give them micro incentives to reduce no shows. Again, no shows was the biggest bottleneck. So we would have streaks, so confirmed and ready streaks, we call it. And every month we would auto check on every driver if they are within KPI, above KPI, or below KPI. And if they are within KPI, then they don't get anything. If they are above KPI, they would get a small credit bonus. And also, if they are below KPI, we would again have them submit a extra confirmation step before accepting a ride. And here we have another opportunity yet again for the no-shows. So this was called trip salvage. So let's say the rider cancels on the person, right? We would have AI instantly ask, do you still need a ride within 10, 20, 30 minutes? And then we would rebook with a different driver, all automatically. So basically AI proposes a alternative pickup point and also a quick reschedule. So let's say they booked, that's perfect. If they didn't book within a certain amount of time, so let's say 5 minutes, 3 minutes, then we would have an AI voice agent call them to basically ask them if they want to rebook again. And we would also give them an app notification. So this ensures that the riders have a better experience, and also for the company, they would get more frequent rebookings. Okay, and so last one, we have opportunity six, which is for the support. and we have a email drafter and sorter. So to give you a brief explanation, we would receive support tickets, we would receive emails, and then we would look at our knowledge base, or basically our database, right? And we would have AI categorize it. So this can either be support, incidents, general, invoices, marketing, billing, drivers, development slash tech. If it's marketing, then we just delete it. If it's for the drivers, we would send it to the right person. And also, if it's sports or incidents, we would rank it based on urgency. So now we also prioritize the tickets with high urgency. And then later, this is basically phase two of this opportunity, is the AI drafter, where we also already draft all the emails for the companies, where the support rep can just either send it or change it around a little bit and then send it. So this is a huge time saver. So these were all the 6 opportunities we discovered for this rideshare platform. And this process of doing an AI audit is also applicable to non-rideshare companies. This is applicable to every single business to discover where AI can be implemented. So if you are a business owner and want to implement AI inside of your business, first link in the description down below. I hope to see you there, and otherwise, I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.